Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to everyone. This is Spring Joe from Gtech, and this is our Gtech 3D Maker Salon. Today is our episode 32 episode. Today we are going to have a special guest with us. He is Jason Brooks. Welcome, Jason.
Hi, welcome everybody, and thank you, Spring, for inviting me.
Welcome to join us on live. And before inviting you to share more your 3D printing experience, I'd like to introduce a little bit about our 3D Maker Salon. And if anyone here are new or you are joining us on live here, welcome to say hi and let us know where are you from. I think now in the European time it's around 10 o'clock. And in the US, it's like around 5 o'clock in the morning. No matter where you're from, you're welcome to say hi here. Something about 3D Maker Salon, in case you don't know yet, is that in this live streaming, we're aiming to invite 3D printing speakers to share their 3D printing stories and also experience on live, so that more people can share their experience with audience and also get more feedbacks as well. So we can also make some friends here. Hello, Matt and Derek, welcome. So apart from that, as a 3D printing manufacturer, Gtech also wanted to introduce our product to as many as audiences as possible. So that's why we are having this live streaming here. Normally, we are trying to make it weekly, like once a week. But we still try to have more audiences to contact us and also to join us on live to share your experience. So if you are interested in this, welcome to contact me or contact our Gtech official Facebook page. Hello, Jason.
Hello, Spring. How you doing?
Thank you very much for joining us on live. And as I learned from your background, I'm impressed from your personal profession, and also you add your profession into 3D printing. So I know that you have learned a lot within a very short period of time. So I'd like to invite yourself to introduce a little bit about yourself.
Yes, hi, thank you. Well, my name's Jason, and by profession, I work in a very boring field of cryptography and cybersecurity. But I have an interest in developing computer games since the 80s. I've always had an interest in tech and in tinkering with computers, with hardware, with electronics from a very early age. I used to be a hacker. That's probably a bad word.
Oh,
but
hacker.
A hacker, yeah. I used to break software, write cheats for magazines back in the 80s and 90s. I mean, it's the only way to learn new techniques back then. We didn't have the internet. We didn't have the amount of books that we have or the knowledge of the communities that we see today. So the only way was to reverse engineer somebody else's stuff. But today, I mean, I'm quite envious, really, of the new generations. There's so much information that's out there at the touch of a button. It's overwhelming at times. And it just makes you think what you can achieve now that we were struggling to do back 30 years ago. So yeah, I mean, I love learning new things, and I needed a new hobby. I had some Raspberry Pi projects on the go, and I needed some custom-made parts that weren't readily available, and my metalwork and woodworking skills were not as they were as a child. And 3D printing is the way to go. I mean, it's you could design something from screen and then watch it being printed, and then later it's a physical object. It's amazing.
Thank you very much. I learned that you are a quick learner in 3D printing. Like you only spend 3 months and you already not only learned about multi-extrusion printing, and also you learned the 3D modeling with the motivation to do more printing.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I entered this hobby, I must admit, very naively. I mean, I bought a 2D printer, you plug it in, you print, and away you go. And I thought the same with a 3D printer. What I didn't realize was that there is a learning curve and there is an art to it. And it's the community that have helped improve my knowledge. And I can't thank them enough. I mean, if you look at other hobbies, I've not seen a community as well knitted, as well informed, and as helpful as a 3D printing community. If you've got an issue, you've got a problem, somebody's bound to have experienced it, and they're quite happy to share their knowledge with you. There's no holding back. It's okay. Here's what you've done. This is what we think might improve it. And from that, it's just asking the questions and getting the feedback from the community. And I really can't thank them enough.
Well, I know that our community is very helpful. A lot of people they are trying to help more people, and also we just learn from each other and also gaining more experience.
Absolutely, and the Gtech community, certainly through the Facebook group, have been some of the most helpful people and experts that are prepared to share their knowledge and help improve newbies like myself that are coming in clueless, thinking I could just press play and print the Eiffel Tower, to actually say, look, you need to consider how to slice your object. Some of the software that we use, it can be very overwhelming. I think is it Cura has over 500 different settings. So as a newbie, where do you start? And again, the community are very patient, so they see a lot of the questions asked many times, and they still help.
Since we are mentioning about helping each other in the community, is there anyone that you think that helped you most, or being very helpful, that you wanted to thank him or her on live here?
Oh, absolutely. I'm sure you're familiar with Bruce Greenleaf. I think he's joined your Facebook group. He's been an absolute rock. For the amount of knowledge that he has to share about the technical sides of printing, and he gets involved, very helpful. But I'm also quite inspired by, I think, one of your regular presenters, Matt, who does the lithophane or the lithographs. I mean, some of the work that he's produced, again, is very inspiring. And again, I've found that he's very helpful in sharing knowledge amongst those groups. There are also so many people that I would like to thank, and I'm probably going to end up shooting myself in the foot because I won't name them all, but you guys know who you are. You've helped me, and I'm really appreciative of that help.
That's I know in the community myself, a lot of people, for example, Bruce and also Matt, has been very helpful to our users, and also share about their own artworks there. I think they are very helpful, in my opinion. But for different people, maybe you have gained a lot of help from other people. You can also share here, like if is there anyone that helped you in the community you wanted to point out and thanking him or her here?
Yeah.
So this is just a good platform to share experience, and also show our appreciation, and also gain more information, make friends.
Yeah, there's a gentleman called Thomas. I can't remember his last name, but he's in the Gtech group. He's been very knowledgeable around firmware, around raise and upgrade paths. As for everyone else, I have a terrible memory. Who they are, the questions that I keep asking.
Oh,
So,
I needed to introduce a little bit about what will be in our live streaming today. Is that we will have the interview with Jason, and based on we have some interactions with audiences. If you have any question regarding 3D printing or Jason, you can ask here in the comments, and we will answer your question when we see it. And besides the interview, we will also have a special session. It's called a quiz session. In this session, we will send 3 giveaways in our live. So if you are here, welcome to share this live with more friends to joining us, and also share with each other. That's the main part about our live streaming. In the end, we will also share some special deals from Gtech side. So in case anyone is interested in our printer or our filaments, you can check it out as well. So that's the main procedures for today's live streaming. And yeah, back to the story, Jason. Can you tell us, like, I would say that you are a very intelligent guy, because you said you are responsible for cyber security. Am I right?
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah.
Yeah. So, do you think your work can help you to get into 3D printing in learning, in terms of learning?
In terms of learning, I think anybody can get into 3D printing, regardless of what they do in life.
Or maybe you can also tell a little bit about how what motivates you into 3D printing.
Okay, yeah. Basically, I'd been looking at 3D printing for a number of years, and at the time it was quite expensive to buy a printer, and the results weren't great. As I said, I was working on some Raspberry Pi projects, and I needed some custom parts. And I have a friend who's a 3D artist, and he's been wanting to bring many of his works to life. So Nathan Smith, artist. If anyone wants to look at that. Now, I've done some research because there's a lot of printer manufacturers out there, and for me, it seemed that the Geetech A20M was the model that seemed to have really good reviews for a very good price point as well. And I thought, well, why not give it a go? What have I got to lose? So I bought the printer. It arrived within a couple of days. And yeah, I had to assemble it, as you know. And I was very cautious because I wasn't sure what I was doing.
May I ask, how long did it take for you to assemble the printer?
Yeah, I'm ashamed to say it was about 3 hours.
3 hours.
It shouldn't have taken that long. I was faffing, taking my time and making sure that I put everything, because I'd never done this before and I didn't want to mess things up. Now that I know what I'm doing, because this was my first experience, now that I know what I'm doing, I think it could probably be assembled in about half an hour, 40 minutes, because Gtech have taken all the hard work out compared to other printers. Is it basically you're going to drop your frame or your gantry in, bolt that up, put your extruder motors in, bolt those in, your filament holders, and then just connect the wires, which they've made very easy. It's very easily labeled, so you know exactly where to plug everything in. So yeah, I think for anybody who's done this hobby before, it's going to be a very short time to assemble compared to other models. And from there, it was just up and running. I went through the leveling process. I put the SD card in for the Geetech Dog, which I didn't know was a dog at the time. And I think the way that it's been sliced has been pretty good because it printed straight from powering on to printing that dog.
Mm-hmm. Do you wanna share your maybe your printing projects? Because we have audience ask, do you have any example of your 3D printing projects?
Yeah, sure. I'm just going to put it on screen.
Okay, I'll add you to the screen. Add to the stream. Yeah.
So here was my printer out of the box and partially assembled.
Mm-hmm.
And this is my first print, which is the dog, which I didn't know at the time. I left it going, and this was the result. And I was using wood PLA, Gtech wood PLA and Gtech apple green, and the results were quite impressive, I thought, for my first ever print. I added the 3D touch sensor to help improve bed leveling.
Mm-hmm.
Now then, it's probably going into this is how I don't do stuff. So as I said, I was very naive about printing to start with, but calibration is very key. And so I ran a calibration cube, which is found on this website. If I just switch here. So from this website, I can put in the bed dimensions of the Gtech, the nozzle diameter, the start retraction distance, increments, and then the filament diameter. And there's a lot of parameters to play with here. And what it will do is it will print a tower that will help you calibrate your settings, your retraction settings, and your temperature settings. So if I switch back to here, this was my first print, which is naturally, it's looking pretty ropey because it hadn't been calibrated. But then when
so this is your very first printing.
It is, yeah. So as you can see here, it's it's much smoother, and you've got much better definition there. So it pays to calibrate the printer. So it works out of the box. It does, and the Geetech Dog is printed there. But if you want to get the best from the printer, you have to invest some time into understanding the printer and calibrating it.
Mm. Is there any other project that you have done with that you are satisfied with most?
Yeah. So with this one, I was trying a print with PVA and PLA because I needed some supports. It doesn't look much now. That was my prime tower. When it was finally printed, you can see here you've got the PVA, the glue, that will just dissolve in water.
That's different material, I think.
It is, yeah, two materials.
Oh.
So
you use different material as the.
So it's not tidied up yet, and it's not a great example. But I still got to sand it down. But I ended up, But that was again my first attempt. So again, uncalibrated, fully uncalibrated, etc.
Wow.
Well
done.
For a Raspberry Pi project, I needed a nameplate. So ground control to Major Tom because David Bowie is one of my favourites. And from a practical level, I needed some curtain hooks. Boring as it sounds, but the ones that I could buy off the shelf were either too big or too small for my curtain track.
Did you design these curtain hangers by yourself?
Yeah, so I just used the CAD package and tried some different designs. Now, not exciting compared to some of the experts out there with their amazing models, but what surprised me was the strength of the PLA. Again, I've only used Gtech PLA, but given that the curtain hangs off a small hook, these the ones that I've finally printed in white, they're still up to date. So over 2 months, and they've not broken. I mean, if you get it right, it's really strong material. And again, it's something that did surprise me because I expected the plastics maybe to be a bit brittle, but if you get it right, they really are quite strong, quite wearing.
Did you try to use other material other than PLA? Because I know PLA is cannot last for very long.
Yeah, I haven't, other than PVA, the glue, and PLA. That's all I've got at the moment. I've got some PET G that I've got to try out, and some TPU, and I've been following on social media people's experiences with those because it's different temperatures. And it's a different printing technique with bed temperatures and so forth. So I've not quite got my head around that yet because I'm still a newbie. But I will be doing that later this year. I tried some lithophane because I saw in the Gtech group somebody had printed something. It could have been matte, in fairness. And I gave it a go. Now, again, the first attempt, not sure what I was doing. And I was mixing red and white. It kind of gave it a candy cane effect, but there were some issues here.
This is a lithophone picture.
It's a what? Sorry.
Is it like a lithophone picture?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
So I experimented a little bit. And as you can see, I've improved the print quality around the edges. And then eventually I ended up producing, this was my first lithophane. As you can see, there are a lot of lines going through it. Again, not knowing what I'm doing. But eventually, where is it? No, it's not that one.
But it's saying packaging would be stronger, last longer than PLA.
It will, yes, absolutely.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Eventually, I did perfect the technique and got a much better print from it. There's other bits, parts of the printer, so a cable chain, which then resulted in something like this. So that helps the cable guides in check on the printer. I thought that was quite useful. I designed an insert for my desk. So I had a USB desk port, but it was too small for the hole. So it was either drill a new hole, or I thought, well, I'll use the printer. So using CAD, I designed the insert, printed it, and it just slotted in. It just seemed to work. So again, it's not as exciting as the other stuff that I've seen out there.
Jason, I think even though you are only in 3D printing for like 3 months, you printed like 1 year old already.
Thank you.
Matt German is saying if you have time, he needs your help with calibration of his printer.
Yeah, absolutely. I've written some articles already that's available on my blog. It's on monkeypaws.com, and if you go to tech 3D printing, I provided a bunch of useful, I don't know if you can see this on the video stream, a bunch of useful resources. And then there's a section for 3D print articles in here. So I've got links for retraction calibration with instructions, manual bed leveling, adding the 3D touch sensor, E-steps and extrusion calibration, XYZ calibration. Everything that I've been learning from the community, I've been adding to the blog. And just on little projects, a little something I did for Christmas for a friend of mine. So she always prides herself on a Christmas tree with glass baubles, and there's been a running joke about this piece of paper cardboard. But I printed off these angel wings, put it in a childlike fashion, and hid it on a tree for 3 weeks before she found it.
Oh, so we have one question. Is this on stock firmware 1.1.8?
Hi, Verts. I love your new firmware, by the way. Yes, it is. So it is on stock firmware 1.1.8. I have downloaded firmware from the Gtech website, and I've made some modifications myself on the 1.18. I've recently downloaded Verts 503 and 504. So 503, I think, is his current release, and the 504 is the next. And that's my next project, is to upload the version 2 firmware to my printer. Everything so far is on 1.18.
Oh, actually, Vert already had I think he had something, updated the firmware with 2.0, I think. Maybe you can check it out. I shared it in the group.
Yeah, absolutely. As I say,
might be helpful.
I've been doing his work for a while now, and I'm just at the stage where I've got the environment set up for it. I can bring up visual code.
You are all tech guy. Easy. Also, I shared the links that you shared with you here. If anyone is interested in Jason's design or his own experience written on his blog, you can check it out. I think there's one blog he wrote about the joy of 3D printing. It was very useful for most of users. If you are new to 3D printing, you can learn from his own experience that he wrote there. Oh, and also another website is a game website designed by Jason and his friend, right, Jason?
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah, geeetech.com.
So if you are fancy about a game, you can also check about the apps that the website they made. Maybe it would be entertaining for you as well.
Okay, so this jumping around a little bit is Verts 504, I think. So this is all ready to go now. I've made the appropriate adjustments, I think, in the configuration. It's just simply a case of uploading it to my printer, but I didn't want to do it before today, just in case I needed to do a bit more experimentation. But this is my next to upload his latest firmware and take advantage of all the new features.
This is the interface for the.
This is the visual code Microsoft, and Vert's project integrates quite nicely into it. So it was very simple to download or clone his repository from Git and install it into Visual Code. It's you need to make some modifications to.
So this is like an open source code for everyone if they were interested to have this?
Yes, it is.
Interesting.
And he made it open source. I think it was taken, and Vert will correct me, from the Marlin 2 project, but he's made numerous bug fixes and improvements for the printers that he has from what I've been following. And he's got a very good reputation for this. He's made the firmware much more simple now by a bunch of if defines. So I just comment out my particular printer make here, and uncomments or touch probe where I've got a touch probe in, and it's literally as simple as that. I have made a bug fix. It's not in this one, it's on my other computer. I'll pass that information across to it, but it was literally just a case of loading that up, pressing the compile button.
Hey, William and Martin, we have new friends joining here.
So yeah, he's made it very easy.
Okay.
Oh, that's good to know. Thanks, Bert. I didn't realise they're all officially supported. That's very useful.
Yes. In Vert's build, he would just comment your module and hit compile.
Yeah, absolutely.
So easy for him.
Well, no, he's actually made it easy for the community. He's put a lot of hard work into it by looking through the code.
He's one of Marlin devs.
I didn't know that.
He is a very experienced tech guy in work with Marlin.
Yeah, he's seriously clever. Yeah.
Hey, William and Martin.
Hello.
Welcome joining us. That's basically all about your hobbies, 3D printing hobbies, and also your own entertaining hobbies. So you are really like a hobbyist king in high tech things.
Oh, I just love tech. But I think some of the things that I would like to share is that you never stop learning new techniques. There's always something new that crops up. There's always something new to learn. So whether you're a beginner or a seasoned veteran of printing, there's always something new. It's just, I'm experiencing it at a much faster pace than the experts are. So the YouTube and the print community, as I said, are patient, very helpful. And my top tips is always to level your bed. No matter what you think.
You always level the bed.
always level it. Yeah, it's as I've got my printer now to a nice stage where it's about as level as I can get it, without relying on the 3D touch sensor. Calibration is. Now, I've heard that some people have had issues with bed adhesion. That's another common issue that crops up from time to time. And what I've learned from the community is decorators tape on the bed helps, but you need to print a brim. If you use the Mylar sheets, the bed itself isn't necessarily level, so using foil, aluminium foil underneath to try and level parts of the bed out help. Also on top of the bed, glue. So print stick or glue sticks with a slight spray of IPA solution, and then smush that over the bed. You don't need much glue, just a couple of swipes, bit of spray of IPA, and then rub it over the bed. Also 3D lac.
Turn the bed, not that way.
There you see. That's why I'm a newbie. So I've learned some.
William is an old driver, experienced tech guy in 3D printing.
It is actually, Matt. Thanks for that.
Leveling the bed is the sexiest thing on the printer. I agree with you, Matt. So today we have many sexy men on live here. Well, I cannot see, but I can feel your passion.
I will not look at my bed the same again, Matt. Thank you.
Matt is also saying, do you give your printer a name?
No, not yet. What do you call yours, Matt?
Oh, I'd like to come back to the printing itself a little bit.
Yeah. So,
like when you mentioned you used our Gtech A20M printer. Did you use it straight out of box? Did you manage to use it, make 3D printing straight out of box? How long did it take for you to learn 3D printing?
Yeah, okay. So surprisingly, yes, I did manage to print straight out of the box. Again, it was my naivety because I've only ever been used to 2D printers, and I just expected it to work. And as I said, the Geetech Dog printed perfectly. I then tried.
That's what most of people say.
I tried some of my own designs. So there was a box for a Raspberry Pi Zero, and I printed that in apple green, and that seemed to work okay. And a couple of other bits. But what I then noticed was the designs were a little bit brittle, and it was because I hadn't leveled the bed correctly, and I hadn't set the height of my nozzle correctly against the bed. And it was that when I then started realizing that actually, what have I done? This looks at the time harder than it should be. It turned out it wasn't. It's just my understanding, and also having a multi-extruder printer as a first printer was a real baptism in terms of a learning curve, because some of the issues, and again, common mistakes, is not making sure is to make sure that you have filament loaded in all of your Bowden tubes. So if I just wanted to print one color, I was just loading in one color and then wondering why I got a nozzle clog. So again, it was my understanding, and I went for a multi-extruder because I'd spoken to friends that had been printing longer than I had, and they wished they'd bought from the outset was a multi-extruder. They've got the single extruders, and I think there's a place for both. And it's certainly a lot easier from what I can see with a single extruder. But the multi-extruder, once you get the hang of it, it does save time, and it's a very useful function. Not just the fact of printing two different colours, but in my case, where I'm using PVA for supports that I can dissolve in water for more complex characters. That's the bit that's the time saver for me.
Thank you for sharing. For most of people, it normally takes a bit of time to learn, because 3D printing is a really learning curve. You need tinkering it all day long. Maybe for some people, it's more. You need to spend more time in your 3D printing than your girlfriends.
Oh, I can attest to that. Yeah. I mean, I started off with the intention of just printing off a couple of pieces, but it's so addictive. I'm just looking for things to print now. So I've been looking on Thingiverse. I've been looking at sort of my own designs, looking at what's out there in the community, and it's. Again, it's not necessarily need to pass. It's just learning the techniques and improving it with each iteration. So you can see my first prints weren't the best, but with each iteration, it's improving every time, and that's the addiction. I never expected that. I just thought, a couple of parts, put it away for a year, bring it out when needed. But I'm blown away. I'm blown away by this hobby, and I now understand why people with motorbikes spend so much time tinkering with the engines and have those in pieces, because 3D printing, I mean, it's yeah. And you can see I'm a little bit awestruck by it.
I like your spirit of always enjoy the making mistakes.
It's the only
and
way.
Learn from it.
It is the only way we learn. I mean, if everything was perfect out of the box, I mean, it make our lives easier, obviously, but we just don't learn. And my first thought was why doesn't it work? Why is it all fully calibrated out of the box? And the answer is quite obvious, because when you assemble the machine, it's those fine tolerances, those 0.01 of a millimeter out, in effect print. So you couldn't deliver a product, I don't think, that works straight out the box perfectly. It's the tinkering and the experimentation that goes with it, and that's both the addiction and the frustration. I mean, the first week I was probably at the point of growling at the machine, but it was my own fault, the machine, because I just didn't take the time to understand it. I was impatient. But once you've engaged the community, and then you go, that's what I've done wrong, or that's how I can make it better. Then yeah,
that's it. Always takes patience to do the tinkering and also to get along with your printer.
Yeah, it does. And I think now that I've started that learning curve, it will make any future printing easier, because I know the right questions to ask now, hopefully. And I can spend that time.
May I ask, based on your learning curve, that you have met so many mistakes and problems in your journey, what's the most common things that you have had and wanted to share with us, and how did you manage to solve that?
Yeah, sure. Okay, so bed leveling is one of them. That seems to be everything these days. Level your bed.
Level your bed. You only needed to ease the screws, 4 screws.
That's right. Yeah, and I always
corner.
or I forget which one I do in the last step. But also with the multi-extruder is to make sure you've got filament loaded, and also set up a small percentage. If you've got, in my case, it's 2 Bowden tubes or 2 filaments, I generally set one of them to 99%, and one on the mixer and the other to 1%, just to make sure that there is filament that's being pushed through, that it's not cooking in the element and creating charcoal. So that's probably my top tip there, is to make sure that you've got all the chambers loaded, and that you've got a percentage, just to avoid the blockages. And when you do get a blockage, don't panic, like I did. It's just a bit of patience. There's different techniques. If you're lucky, you're able to do what they call a cold pull, which is to heat the filament up to about 200 degrees or higher, and then bring it down to about 160, and then pull the plastic out, and that usually works. In the worst case, where I stupidly didn't push the Bowden tube all the way in, it must have gone about halfway into the tube. I don't know why, because I made that same mistake only yesterday. Twice I've done it now. So the chamber will fill with plastic, and the only way to get that out is to apply heat to I can't remember what the term is. It's like a metal prong that was delivered with it. So I had to heat it up with a blowtorch and drop it in to pull the plastic back out again.
What is saying, he called his printer Bonesaw.
It's a cool name.
Joke about the Matt.
Hey,
Matt
no,
need a girlfriend.
no judgment.
I think that's a lot of mistakes that you learn. That you, I appreciate that you share what you experienced, and also not only share it here, and also you already written it in your blog. That would be more very helpful for people.
Thank you.
Especially those who are new to 3D printing. I think that's something very meaningful. Thank you for that.
Thank you. As I say, I'm not an expert. I'm far from it, and I'm just sharing what I've learned to date. And if the community spot errors in those articles or a better way of doing it, then feed it back to me, because it's the only way that we will learn.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Oh, may I ask you one question related to your choice? Like I already mentioned a little bit, like what's your incentives? What's the incentives that made you choose Gtech instead of other brands? Because in the market there are so many brands.
They are, and it was overwhelming. When I was looking at 3D printing, it was, where do I start? What model? And I looked on YouTube, I looked in different forums, and I found some Facebook groups with different printers. And out of all the printers, I mean, Creality, you know, is a big seller. Prusa printers, etc. But there was something about the Gtech, both for the reviews that I'd seen, people's experience of them, so those that had taken the time to learn about the printer, that both the quality of the print, and I've got to say the price point was very attractive for what you're getting. I mean, you're getting a lot of printer for the money, without a doubt. So I thought, well, I didn't know much about it. I saw the reviews and I honed in on Gtech. I didn't know much about the brand before then, but I must say that I've since I'm very happy with the decision that I made. I mean, it's my first printer, so you never forget your first love, do you? Sorry, Matt, but you never forget you never forget your and so much so that I bought a second one now. So I've got two A20Ms now. Some people might say that's mad, you know, try a different model, but for me, at this point of my journey in 3D printing, it's delivering everything that I need. And I'm very glad with that decision. There's no regrets at all. I've seen in the forums there's some people that may get frustrated with it, but all I say is just stick with it and just learn about the printer, because it will produce some really great results.
Yes. We have a question from the comment. Is asking what have you made to help with the pandemic? I think this question is for everyone in the live streaming. If you have this experience in help with the pandemic, you can share your experience, not just to Jason, but to everyone. We can share our experience and that other people know your ideas.
I think that's a very good question, isn't it? I mean, personally, I wasn't aware that I could do anything. If anyone's got any suggestions, or there's any groups that are out there that are looking for help, then drop me a line. I'm quite happy to. If there's a need or a use, I'm quite happy to help, because certainly here in the UK, we're hopefully coming towards the end of lockdown. We've been told possibly June if we all behave.
Yes, and also from Gtech side, I think we donated a few filaments to other countries. When by the time that I joined Gtech, we already had the donation. And of course, I think it's for the live streaming here is also good to connect people together. If you are doing something great, meaningful to people in your country or in the world, you can share your projects with others, and maybe you can get support or help from other people here. So we have William said he printed 10,000 face shield.
Wow.
And 10,000 a year savers. That's great, William.
It's astounding. How long did that take to print?
And Vert said he knows a few people printing equipments and dropping off box to hospitals. Yeah, that's mainly about printing equipments. Face shields. Derek. Oh, he also printed over 2,000 face masks for local hospitals.
That's really good.
That's really great.
And I think that kind of highlights the community that the 3D printing that 3D printing brings together. I wasn't aware of these projects going on, but what those guys have done there is quite amazing. Yeah, well done.
Well done, guys. Thank you for your awesome work for other people. Oh, Matt said he wanted to help and had no experience in printing. Maybe Matt, in a later time, I would like to connect with you with a non-profit organization. Maybe you can have your, especially before you mentioned that you have experience of printing lithophone pictures to help blind people. So I think this could be very helpful in certain projects. I can connect with you with some friends who are in non-profit organization. And also, Jason, we have talked a lot about your 3D printing experience and also your own experience. Do you have any suggestions or any questions to Gtech?
Oh, that's a good one. Questions to Gtech.
You needed to think quicker.
I do, don't I? Yeah. So I recently upgraded, I say recently, it's the last couple of days, my printer to the quieter stepper motors, the TMC 2208, I think it is.
Yes.
And the difference that's made is astounding, because I was running prints yesterday, and several times I had to keep checking to see if the printer was still running because I couldn't hear it. I was used to the familiar noise. So my question is do you have plans to produce the printer with those quieter stepper motors already installed, pre-configured?
Do we have people to produce stepper mod?
To release a version of the printer with the quieter drivers?
I think this one I already shared in the community about because now recently we had a new version, is 4.1 version for printers. And for this one, the boards are currently mostly are I think are the one which is not quite not TMC 2208 or TMC 2209 yet. But they said I already feedback this to my company and said that we will have the quite TMC 2208 ones in a later stage.
Cool.
Yes.
And as a newcomer to this, you know, what advice do you have for me in terms of improving my print quality and getting the most out of my Gtech printer?
Yes. Yeah, I personally agree. I think have a quiet printing environment is very important, because some of geeks like to put their printer in their bedroom. I'm not sure how many people have this experience, but this does happen. So I understand it's very important, and also some people mentioning about have quiet fan are also very important. Yeah, I also I feedback this to my company already, and they said they will have we will have this.
Okay, excellent. And what would you suggest I can do to get the most out of my printer? What do Gtech recommend to help me improve or to get the most?
For you mean suggestions for you?
Starting out, yeah. For anyone starting out.
You actually already grasped the skill, is that because you have a dual color printer, you always need to have both of filaments in the feeder when you are doing the printing, so it will not get blocked. And also you needed to also always calibrate your bed, and also needed to check your printer regularly.
Yeah, I agree. Makes sense.
Maintenance, yes.
Yeah, makes sense. And making sure that the bed is clean.
And also one thing that I learned in the past episode from other speakers is that they normally would like change their bed to like glass one or to like PEI sheet. So it's better for you to remove the prints.
Yeah, I swapped the glass bed fairly quickly, and that did make a huge difference. I did make a mistake, as I do as a newbie. I saw that the pros are using bed clips to attach the bed. I just unpeeled it and stuck it on. So yeah, I had to remove it in the end. But yeah, definitely the glass bed. And I've noticed that with the glass bed, I haven't needed to use 3D lac or hairspray or glue or anything like that. It seems to be a better adhesion to the plate.
Yes.
So for me, it's also, I'm a little bit impatient, so having to wait for the plate to cool down to take the print off. I've ordered some extra plates from Gtech so that I can just pull the plate off, leave that to cool, put the next one on, and get the printer back up and running again. So
one more suggestion myself summarized is that you always needed to be patient. If you have any problem, you can send your issues in a group with detailed picture and description, so you can get specific help.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, pictures
Yeah, because
words.
Oftentimes I saw some people share they are having problem with the printer, but they did not really point it out. I mean, people cannot, other people want to help them, cannot understand what they mean and cannot really help efficiently. So always share. If you have any problem, you can always share the picture and also describe your problem in specific, so you can get help faster and also efficiently. Silent fans also should be a standard. Yes, I think so. Actual firmware and support too. I think yes, firmware side and support. In the firmware side, we are currently we just have a new. I think it's just a new firmware, and also for the support. If you need any support, you can always fill a ticket in our website, or you can also contact the Facebook official page. That's the main part that I was really wanted to share. Thank you again, Jason, for your experience sharing, and now already being online for 1 hour, and let's get into the exciting session of the quiz session. Jason, maybe I need your help to help me to select the lucky winners. So you can, we have 3 questions on live streaming. So you will give the question and then invite people to answer it. I will also copy the question in the comment, so more people will understand it. Okay. Please repeat it twice at least. Okay. So for this session, 1 question, we will get 1 lucky winner. So we will choose the one who answer the question fastest, and right will get the 1 roll of filament for the prize, for the giveaway. Shall we start?
Yeah.
Let's start, Jason.
Okay, so questions then. Question number 1. With a multi-extruding printer, what must you always ensure? With a multi-extruding printer, what must you always ensure?
Oh, we had that. We shared that already in the live streaming, actually.
Okay. All right.
Let's see.
So,
this is for multi-extruder, not just for. This is for multi-extruder printer. So, what must ensure? You need to think about multi-extrusion printer instead of just a single printer. Okay, so just one hint.
Okay, are you able to see? I've pasted the question.
We will count. I just pasted the question.
Okay, cool. Okay, based on my experience, what I've spoken about, after you received and assembled your new printer, what are some of the first steps to carry out to get the best out of it? So after you received and assembled your new printer, what are some of the first steps to carry out to get the best out of your printer?
Okay, let's see if we get any correct answer.
Okay.
Jason, what is the biggest lesson or new skills you learn in 3D printing, in your opinion?
It's mechanics, I would say. To take the various parts of the printer apart. I've not had to do something like that for 20 years, and using my multimeter. So replacing a print head that I had blocked, for example, that was a new skill. So I had to take photographs every step away. So yeah, it was again my own fault. I created the issue, but yeah, it's the mechanics. So as I say, I've not had to take anything apart for 20 odd years, and I find it very therapeutic and quite enjoyable.
Mechanics sounds complicated.
It does, doesn't it? But it's just literally a spanner and a screwdriver. That's pretty much all you need with these printers.
Jason, I think we can you check if we got the right answers? I don't think so. Maybe we can give a little bit of hint.
Okay, let's
that is, maybe you can give a little bit of hint to help our audiences.
Okay, trying the bed, right, little bed, just trying the bed. Okay, so for question number one, with a multi-extruding printer, what must you always ensure? The clue is to do with filaments.
Yeah, you need to think about filament. Okay, I'm going to share to more groups.
Are you ready for question three?
Yes.
Okay, I've swapped this one around, so I'll make this one very easy.
Yeah, it's a very simple one.
Very simple one.
Just you need to think a little bit about filament.
Matt's close. Matt's very close.
Do we have a right answer? I will count down in 5 seconds. If no, we will skip this question and then.
No, we actually do have a correct answer. We've got Vert, we've got William.
Who is the fastest one?
The fastest one looks to be Vert.
Let me check. Oh, is this one right? Both filament loaded.
That's correct. Yes.
Congratulations to Bert. We have the first lucky winner in our live streaming, and then now we have 2 more to go. Are we ready, Jason?
Yep. Okay. So number 2 is after you received and assembled your new printer, what are some of the first steps to carry out?
Would you please repeat again? So
Sure.
I'm also sending it in the
Okay. So
comments.
after you've received and assembled your new printer, what are some of the first steps to carry out?
Okay, so let's see who will answer quickest and right. will get 1 row of Gtech filament?
We've got an answer from, it just says Facebook user with level bed.
Facebook user, I'm not sure who is that. Can you type your name? Not sure who is this friend. Can you type your name? Oh, Joe. Congratulations, Joe.
Yes,
Joe is our previous sharing speaker in our previous live streaming.
Hi, Joel.
Oh, we have a few.
Okay, now this one is...
Can you announce the correct answer?
Yeah, the correct answer is level bed and calibrate.
Yes. Oh, congratulations to Joe, and I will be in touch with you guys. And we have one last quiz.
Yeah.
Last one.
Okay, this one is fastest answer first.
So one last quiz for for anyone who can answer the right answer will get a roll of filament.
Okay.
Okay.
So this question. So fingers at the ready there.
Mm-hmm.
Who is the loveliest presenter that hosts each episode? Who is the loveliest presenter that hosts each episode?
Oh, this is a different question you write to me?
Yep. I switched it.
Okay. So I will not copy and paste. So let's see who will get the right answer.
Oh, crikey, this is close to call, isn't it?
Is this question easy?
This is quick. The answer is already given. It's Uspring.
Okay, can you? Let me check. Can you repeat the question again?
Yeah, sure. I said, who is the loveliest presenter that hosts each episode?
Oh! That's a good joke. Thank you, Joe. Thank you, Jason. Thank you, everyone. This one you all win. So thank you. That's a good question, and we will have to skip this one, and I will give you another one for mine. For the brainstorm. Yeah. Brainstorm.
Okay, so yeah, that was a bit cheeky of me. Okay, so the real question.
I just got your humor. Thank you, Jason.
Okay, the real question is a multiple choice one here.
Mm-hmm.
What is the correct way to calibrate?
So here comes the last quiz for everyone. This one is an easy question. I hope anyone who is here just attention to get this.
Okay, are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay. What is the correct way to calibrate your X, Y, and Z steps? Is it A, print a 20mm calibration cube and take the final measurement? B, measure the actual distance the printhead travelled. C, print your own design and take measurements from the final printed object. I'll repeat that again. Which is the correct way to calibrate your X, Y, and Z steps? Is it A, print a 20mm calibration cube and take the final measurements? B, measure the actual distance the printhead travels? Or C, print your design and take measurements from the final printed objects?
Do we have a right answer?
Let me take a look.
Let me check.
Oh, sorry, Matt. No, that's wrong.
Oh, I think we have one. The answer is B, right?
The correct answer is B.
So we have this, I think Robert is the first. No, there is a, sorry, I made a mistake. There is one said Facebook user. Let me see, who is this? It's a bit. It seems that this is Joe Leonard again. So we will skip because you already had one row of filaments. So this will give to another one.
Okay. It looks like the next one is Roberto.
Which one?
One you have on screen, Roberto PR.
Yeah, in my screen is this. Let me share the screen here so it's more clear. So this is what my screen looks like. So this should be this one should be Joe. Yeah. So the lucky winner would be Robert PR. Robert PR. I think this is so congratulations to our 3 lucky winners. We have already got all the 3 lucky winners. So let me try to write down first. If you guys have any other questions to our sharing speaker, Jason, you can comment and
absolutely.
I will write down the lucky winners and then contact you in a later time.
And Matt, if you need help with calibration, then just message me and I'll help where I can.
Oh, the first winner is Word, right?
Yes, that's correct. Yeah.
Word. And the second one is Joe. Third one is Roberto PR. Great. Really enjoyed the live streaming with you, Jason. Great questions. Thank you for the suggestions.
Thank you for inviting me. I've enjoyed it. Thank you.
Yes, great job. And I hope that we will have another time to invite you. Maybe you have more projects and more experience to share. Welcome you to join us again.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I think once I've got a few more projects under my belt and a bit more experience, I'd be happy to help out.
And congratulations to all winners. There's one last session I actually want to share a little bit more about what's on Gtech side about our special offers in our Amazon store. So if anyone is interested in a printer or filament, you can check it out. I already shared it in the pre-scheduling. So when you click to see more, and then you can see what's in there. But let me see if I can share it again. And if you guys are interested in learning more and also getting to download the STL file that Jason designed, you can download it from here. I will share about Jason's link again. Oh. So here I will announce a little bit, just a brief introduction about what's on Amazon currently. Is that we have in the Europe mostly we have A10, A20 printer, and also A20M printer that is having discount in our Amazon store. You can check it out. I'm just sharing the some of the deals that might be interesting to you, and sharing it with you here. And now I'm sharing Jason's website here again. Okay, so if you are interested in learning more, and also you can also join Gtech community. We have user group. If you are not in our user group, welcome to joining us, and also follow us on Facebook page. So each time when we have live streaming, we will always on live in our group, and also Facebook page, and also YouTube. It's almost the end of the live streaming. If you have anything you want to say to Jason, welcome to type some comment before we officially say goodbye. Oh, error in the link? If there's any error in the link, you can check it later when this live streaming finish. You can also find it in the preview, the review column. When you select to see more, you can find some of the deals that we posted there. Or you can contact with our official page as well. Let us know. Thank you, Robert. Okay. So this is our Facebook page, and also our user group. If you haven't joined us, and also you haven't to see this, I hope you will like our live streaming, and also joining us, and also welcome guys to joining us on live streaming. If you have experience to share, it will be a great platform for you guys to join. Okay, that's all for the live streaming. Jason,
thank you, Spring.
Thank you very much for joining us here on live and taking time for all the preparation and catch-ups. I enjoy the time of doing this live streaming and listening to your stories.
Thank you, Spring. I've enjoyed being on the show, and yeah, thank you very much, and thank you to everybody for listening. And if anyone's got any tips or advice from a newbie like myself, then please feel free to share, because learning is the only way we can improve.
Yes. I also would like to thank you everyone for joining this live streaming and also sharing your opinions in a comment. So in the future, if you have any problem, you can also contact our Facebook page or contact me directly about any problem you have. And let's get connected and also share more in the group in getting to know each other and helping each other. Lastly, I want to say to everyone, happy printing. Okay, thank you very much. And now it's time to say goodbye and have a good day to everyone and weekend as well. I will hope to see you next time.
Thank you. Have a great weekend.
Bye-bye. See you next time.